Talk about investing more broadly. I don't know if there's other companies you want to touch on right now, but I just want to know, in this particular moment, given where you may think the market is, given where bond prices are, I think a lot of people are really trying to rethink what's the mix of what a portfolio is even supposed to look like in this world, given what's happening in Israel and Ukraine and the like. Are you buying stuff? What are you doing?
Every day. I am amazingly bullish. And so basically in the 1960s, there was Vietnam War, there was inflation, there were assassinations of the presidents of the United States, there was assassination of Robert Kennedy, assassination of Martin Luther King. I was a patent office examiner in Arlington, Virginia, and I went to law school at night and worked in patent office at daytime. And one day, right after King is assassinated, one of my friends, I'm on one side of the office, runs over and said, "Ronnie, come over here." And I ran to the other side of the building. All of Washington was on fire. Amazing. So we got our motorcycles and drove in. You're not allowed to. We broke into the city, driving around, and came back. But that was the city falling apart. It looked like the country was ending. There would be marches on Washington. And the market, the Dow Jones was 1,000. The GDP was 800. 800 billion. That's now 27 trillion. The Dow Jones was 1,000 then. It's 34,000 now. It's five doubles in the last 50 years, 53 years. That means you double every 5 years, every 10 years rather. So that means that's when we're around 7, right? So basically, the way I think about it is that inflation, whenever you have a war, you have a pandemic, you have to have inflation, the government has to pay for it. And when the government pays for it, then when you come out of it, they have to pay it back. The way they pay it back is not by paying down any debt. They pay it back by making your money worth less. So there's inflation. So the way we think about things is that inflation is going to reduce the value of your money in half about every 14 or 15 years. About 4 or 5% a year is inflation. That's my whole lifetime. 4 or 5%. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 7, but 4 or 5% is the number.
So you would never buy a 2-year bond or a 5-year bond or
Ever.
a 10-year bond?
I've never owned a bond.
Ever?
Ever. Not one. So I'm invested in, and I don't have a lot of cash either. I'm always invested, and whenever I have a chance to buy more, I buy more. So in Tesla, I gave you the sheet before that showed that when I started in business, so in 1970 I come to New York and I'm in debt. 1982, start Baron Capital. We had 10 million under management. 10 million, that's an M. Then 1992 had 100 million, now it's 41 billion, and we have 40 billion of profits. So basically, most of the money that we manage is profits. Of course, we had 55 billion a couple of years ago, but that's all from depreciation. Now, I think what's going to happen in the next 2 years, by December of 25, I think we'll be back to where we were in.
And what gives you that confidence?
The businesses are growing, and the multiples are now lower. So basically, multiples are now lower. The businesses are growing. You know, the growth in our country is about 7% a year historically. It's about 4 or 5% of inflation, and about 2% is real. All the growth that we've had in the United States, in our country, has been in the last 200 years, and it's the last 20, 30, 40 years, it's accelerating. Growth is accelerating, it's not slowing down. And so basically, it used to be a capital-intensive economy. Capital represented, I think it was 65% of book values. Now it's 44% or 42%. It's becoming less capital intense. Multiples should be higher because of that.